sales and cash from debtors will be written in branch account. If any goods which is returned by the branch, write in the credit side. We have to prepare revaluation account, partners capital account, bank account as well as balance sheet. So once you will record in revaluation account, other time we will adjust here. Hello everyone, I am Arshita, lecturer, Department of Commerce, Vidhyaashram First Grade College, the Temple of Excellence, Mysuru. My dear students, today we shall solve a model question paper on financial accounting 2. So let us see how the questions will be asked in your final examination. So I have taken few questions from the question paper itself. Let us see how the question paper will be. So you know, the whole question paper has been divided into 3 parts, that is part A, part B and part C. So part A, part B and part C. And your part A will be for 15 marks, part B will be for 10 marks and part C will be for 5 marks. So under 15 marks question, so you have to answer 2 of the questions. And in 10 marks you have to answer 3 and in 5 marks you have to answer 4 of the questions. Let us see how they have asked in your previous question paper. So we have already gone through all these problems. So today I am going to explain how you have to answer, how you have to present the paper. So we had already solved this problem. So if you have not gone through the session, so you can go through the previous sessions of the concept class and you can go through the solution for this. So I have solved, but I am not going to explain how it is going to be solved. Okay. Now this is a 15 marks question on branch accounts. So here this is a question on branch account where we have to prepare branch account and at the same time in working note we have to prepare total debtors account. Suppose they have not given closing petty cash or closing furniture. In such cases we have to calculate by using the working note. Now this is a 15 marks question which was asked in your question paper. So, hope you have gone through the problem here. So, this is relating to the branch account. Now, go through the problem here. Swastik head office in Mangalore. Goods are invoiced to its Bangalore branch. So, here we are going to solve problem on dependent branch where all the expenses will be met by the head office. So, whatever the expenses which is incurred in the branch will be given by the head office. At the same time, whatever the income which is earned in the branch, that has to be remitted back to the head office. So, this is a problem on dependent branch where they will give you information. At the same time, cost plus invoice price they have given. Next, they have given opening items here, that is stock as well as debtors. Next, goods received from head office, that is rupees 10 lakh. Next, whatever the amount which is remitted to the head office. So, whatever the income which is earned in the branch, so that has to be returned back to the head office. So, here also we have cash sales, cash from debtors. Next, goods returned to head office at invoice price. Hope you have gone through the problem. So, here opening balance will be written in branch account, that is in the debit side of branch account. Next, goods returned from head office. So, it also be written in branch account. Next, cash sales and cash from debtors will be written in branch account. Next, goods returned to head office. So, this is also written in branch account. Next, goods returned by customers. So, here we are going to record in total debtors account. So, this item will comes under total debtors account as a working note. Next, further consignment we will record in branch account. Next, credit sales we will record in branch account. At the same time we will record in total debtors account. Next, we have check received from head office. That is for the expenses which is there in the branch. So, the check will be received from the head office. So, here there are certain expenses which is received from the head office. So, this has to be recorded in branch account. Next, discount allowed to customers in total debtors account. Bad debts we will record in total debtors account. Next, they have given closing stock, but they have not given closing debtors. So, we have to calculate the closing debtors. Okay, so this is a problem. Now, how to solve this problem? So, write the heading in the books of Swastik head office. In the sense, in the books of head office, we are going to prepare the branch account. The branch name is Bangalore branch account. So, my dear students, be careful with the format. So, if you know the format, it is very easy to answer the question. Now, first you will record. So, your first step is that record all the opening items. So, here in this question, they have given opening stock as well as debtors. Next, your second item is that whatever the amount which is remitted from the branch to head office. So, it is written in the form of cash sales as well as cash from debtors. Add these two and write in the outer column. If any goods sent to branch, write in the debit side. If any goods which is returned by the branch, write in the credit side. Next, record the closing balance. Opening balance will be recorded in the debit side, whereas closing balance will be recorded in the credit side. But make sure that whatever the items which are there in the opening balance, for example, stock and debtors in this problem. So, same item should be there in the closing item also. But if you see the problem, they have not given the closing debtors. So, for this reason, we have to calculate or we have to make a working note on total debtors account. Now, how to prepare total debtors account? So, in the debit side, bring down the balance as to balance brought down, that is opening debtors. Next, credit sales will be recorded in the debit side. Coming to the credit side, so cash received from debtors. So, that will be recorded. Next, by goods returned to customers or if any discount allowed, we will record in the credit side. Next, bad debts and the balancing figure will be closing debtors. So, this is a balancing figure. 2,20,000 is a closing debtors. So, write this closing debtors. Next, if any expenses which is met by the branch has to be recorded here as to bank account. Before that, they have given further consignment also. So, you have to go through the format itself so that you will not forget any of the item. So, write the further consignment and record all the and next record the expenses which is met by the branch as to bank account. Write all the expenses here, total it and write in the outer column. Next, you have to record the reverse entry here. For opening stock, write it as by stock reserve, that is opening stock. Here 2,40,000 is the opening stock, right? Into 25 divided by 125, that is cost plus 25% they have given. So, cost plus 25%. So, you have to take it as 25 divided by 125, you will get 48,000. In the same way, for goods sent to branch, record the reverse entry by goods sent to branch. Goods sent to branch is 10 lakh into 25 divided by 25, you will get 2 lakh. Next, for further consignment also. So, for further consignment, is 3,60,000 into 25 divided by 125, you will get 72,000. In the same way, for the credit side also, you have to record the reverse entry for this by goods returned to branch. So, it is by goods returned by branch. So, how much? That is 40,000 into 25 divided by 125, you will get 8,000. Next, for closing stock. So, for closing stock also, stock reserve, closing stock is 3,20,000 into 25 divided by 125, will get 64,000. Balance both the side and the balancing figure of branch account will be net profit or net loss. So, here in this problem, it is net loss. So, if the debit side is more than credit side, it means net loss. If the credit side is more than debit side, it means net profit. So, this is how you are going to prepare the branch account. My dear students, make sure that you will understand the format. If you are not clear with it, you can go through the concept class and you can see each and every problem, how we have solved that problem. Next, we have done a working note here. So, this is all about. So, your working note also contains mark. So, make sure that for each and everything you record the working note. Next, 15 marks problem. So, this is on what? This is on admission of a partner. So, we had solved many problems on admission of a partner. They will give the opening balance sheet like this. That is before the admission of a new partner. Okay, now this is a problem on admission of a partner and they will give the balance sheet before the admission of a partner and they will give certain adjustment. Now what you have to do? we have to prepare revaluation account, partners capital account, bank account as well as balance sheet. So these are the accounts and statement that has to be prepared under admission of a partner. So the first account we shall see revaluation account. So in revaluation account you will go through increase or decrease in the value of assets and liabilities. So we had solved this problem in the concept class also, or you can go through the revision class also. So we had solved this problem. So now I'll explain what you have to record here. In the debit side, A minus L plus. In the credit side, it is A plus L minus. So if any assets have decreased or the value of assets have decreased and liability value have increased, you are going to record in the debit side. Then what about credit side? If any assets value have increased and liability value have decreased, you are going to record in the credit side. Now, for this information, you have to see both the balance sheet as well as the adjustment. So you have to see the adjustment along with the balance sheet. So they will directly give like this, reserve of 6% or the depreciation. So depreciation is nothing but what? Decrease in the value of asset. In the same way, appreciation, increase in the value. Next, outstanding audit fees. So it is a liability. So increase or decrease in the assets and liability, you will record in revaluation account. After preparing revaluation account, the balancing figure will be either revaluation profit or revaluation loss, and this has to be transferred to old partners in which ratio? In old ratio. So this is a problem. So here it is revaluation profit is a balancing figure and the partners are Raga and Tala, and we are going to distribute this profit. That is revaluation profit. So how to identify whether it is profit or loss? If the credit side is more than debit side, it means profit, and we have to distribute this profit to partners capital account in their old ratio. So this is about revaluation account. Next is partners capital account. So here you will draw column for each partner and you will prepare this partner's capital account in both debit and credit side. So your first item to be recorded is you will bring down the capital of the old partners which is given in the balance sheet. So in the balance sheet, that is before the admission of a partner, that is in the question, they will give the capital. So bring the capital as by balance brought down. Next you will bring the revaluation account balance. So it may be either profit or loss. Next, you will check whether there is any reserve, fund as well as profit and loss account in a balance sheet. If you find any such kind of item, you will transfer that item in the profit sharing ratio, and that too it has to be distributed only to the old partners in old ratio. So here in this problem, there was general reserve and profit and loss account. Now see, they have distributed only to the old partners in old ratio. Now we are done with the old partners. Now come to the new partner. So new partner, they will bring capital as well as goodwill. Suppose the goodwill is not bought by the new partner and they have given the goodwill is valued. In such situation, the accounting treatment of goodwill will be different. But in this problem, the goodwill is bought by the new partner, add capital plus goodwill and transfer it to bank account in the new partners column. So that is about this capital as well as goodwill which is bought by the new partner. Next we have to record entries for the treatment of goodwill. So how we are going to treat the goodwill? So your entry will be new partners capital account data to old partners capital account. Now the amount which is bought in the form of goodwill is 42,000. So distribute that goodwill. Now distribute that goodwill among the old partners in sacrifice ratio. Suppose in the question they have not given sacrifice ratio, then old ratio itself is considered as sacrifice ratio. Now distribute that amount, goodwill amount in sacrifice ratio to the old partners. Next, what you have to do, you have to bring down the balance. So the balancing figure has to be carried down and that amount has to be written in the balance sheet as capital. So the amount which I have carried down has to be brought down at the end of the financial year. So this is about partners capital account. Next, we shall go through bank account. First, in the bank account, you will record the opening balance, that is, which is there in the balance sheet, that is cash at bank, or simply they will give bank. So you will record that amount. Next, you will transfer the amount of new partner, that is 1,22,000 of Shruti. That is, you will record it as to Shruti's capital account. Now balance both the side and the balancing figure will be carried down. So this is the balancing figure. So this is about bank account. Next, balance sheet. So you will refer each and every item in the balance sheet, that is in the opening balance sheet. So if there is any adjustment, you will go through that adjustment. For example, if there is appreciation, you will add the appreciation. If there is any depreciation on fixed asset, you will deduct that depreciation. And here in cash at bank, so suppose they have, or the new partner have bought the goodwill, then that is capital and goodwill, you have to add this. So here 19,800 which was there in the old balance sheet plus capital of the partner and next goodwill of the partner. So add these two and write in the outer column. Next, debtors less reserve we have, so deduct that and write in the outer column. Stock less depreciation. So once you will record in revaluation account, other time you will adjust here. Next, machinery less depreciation, land and building add appreciation. Now the assets will be same as your old balance sheet. You will refer your old balance sheet and record each and every item. So if there is any adjustment, you will add. If there is any increase in asset, you will add. If there is any decrease in asset, you will deduct. Next, creditors, the items which was there in the liability side of the balance sheet in the question. Next, loan you will record, outstanding audit fees. Next, this capital will be the balancing figure of partner's capital account. Now, in partner's capital account, we have carried down this amount. So, this amount has to be taken as capital of the partners. Suppose if there is any general reserve or any other fund, so it will not be taken in the balance sheet because we had already taken in partner's capital account. Now write all the capital, total both the side, and the total of assets should be equal to total of liabilities. So this is a problem relating to admission of a partner. Now we shall go through one more 15-mark problem, that is 15 marks problem on installment system. Now here, as I told you, if you are clear with the journal entry, it is very easy to even record the ledger accounts. Now go through the problem here. On 1/1/2008, Mr. Chandan purchased a motorbike from Hero Honda company on installment system. The cash price of the motorbike was rupees 40,000 and the payment is to be made as follows. So the total cash price is 40,000. So among this 40,000, 16,000 is paid on the date of agreement. So the remaining amount is paid in the form of installment. Okay. For that, they have to include 5% interest and the depreciation is charged with 15% on original cost. Now this is a problem. Now, as I have already told you, if you are familiar with this table, it is very easy to solve the problem. Now here, what we are going to calculate? Calculation of principal, interest, installment and depreciation. Now in the first year, we will write the cash price less down payment. Next, total amount payable is 24,000. Now this 24,000 has to be divided into how many installment? 3 equal installments. So we'll get 8,000 each. 8,000 each in all the installment. So then we have to calculate the interest, that is on amount payable in each year, that is 24,000 into 5%. Next installment amount is 8,000 plus 1,200 will get the installment amount. In the same way, you have to go through the calculation. So we had already solved many problems on this type of or in this installment system. Next, we shall go through the journal entries. So in journal entry, so this is an extra account to be prepared in installment system other than hire purchase system. In hire purchase system, we don't have this account. Whereas in installment system, we have to prepare this account. So the first entry is for what? Purchasing of asset. So we are going to prepare accounts in the books of installment purchaser. So first entry is for what? Purchasing of asset. Second entry is for making the down payment. Third entry is for interest due. Fourth entry is for installment paid. Fifth entry is for depreciation charge. Sixth entry is for transfer of interest and depreciation to profit and loss account. So in first year you will be having 6 entries. So first entry is for purchase of asset. Your entry will be in asset account, that is cash price of the asset you will record here 40,000. Next, interest suspense account. Now the amount of interest, that is the total of all years interest, you will add and you will record in interest suspense account and you will transfer to installment seller account. So first entry is for purchase of asset, second entry is for down payment made, third entry is for interest due, fourth entry is for installment paid. Next, fifth entry is for depreciation charge, sixth entry is for transfer of interest and depreciation to profit and loss account. So we have gone through this problems, so you can go through that and you can clearly understand. In second year, we will not have all the 6 entry, not all the 6 entry, we will have only 4 entries. So it will start from interest due and your entries repeats. Okay, so if you are clear with the first year entries, it is very easy to go on writing the journal entry. First year entry, interest due, second installment paid, third is depreciation charge, fourth is transfer of interest and depreciation to profit and loss account. So this is about second year. In third year also we will have only 4 entries. Same entry, interest due, installment paid, depreciation charge and transfer of depreciation and interest to profit and loss account. In rest of the years, you are not having this for asset purchased as well as down payment, because in 1 year you are going to purchase that asset. Rest of the years you are going to make the installment along with the interest. So this is a 15 marks easy problem on installment system. If they ask on hire purchase system also, the entry remains same. Instead of installment purchaser, you are going to write it as hire purchaser. In the same way, installment seller, you are going to write it as hire seller. Only that much difference. And I have already told you, in installment you will have this interest suspense account, whereas in hire purchase you will not have that account. So this is a simple problem for 15 marks. Next, a problem on dissolution. That is a compulsory problem on dissolution of a partnership firm. So we had solved this problem. Now, under dissolution of a partnership firm, what you have to remember, dissolution is nothing but closing down of the partnership firm, where you will bring all the assets together, next sell that asset, and using that amount, you will make payment to the liabilities. And after making payment to the liabilities, if any amount is left, so that will be distributed among the partners in their profit sharing ratio. So here they have given a balance sheet, that is before the dissolution of partnership firm, and in the adjustment they have told that they are going to dissolve the partnership firm. So during the process of dissolution, I have already told you, in realization account you will bring all the assets together. Next, you will bring all the liabilities together. Next, you will sell these assets. So when you sell, you will get the cash. So using that cash, you will make the payment to liabilities. After making payment to liability, if any amount is left, so it will be distributed among the partners in their profit sharing ratio. Okay, so in the adjustment they will give what are the assets being sold, and in certain situation some assets will be taken over by the partners. So that also has to be recorded in your realization account. Now they have asked us to prepare necessary ledger accounts. Now which are the accounts to be prepared? Realization account, partners capital account, partners loan account if any of the partner have provided loan. Next is bank account. We are not going to prepare the balance sheet because the business is not going to continue in the future. Now go through the solution here. The first account to be prepared is realization account. So as I told you, the first thing is that you will bring all the assets together except cash or bank and profit and loss account. So in your balance sheet, they have given certain items, certain assets, right? So you will bring all the assets together except cash or bank and profit and loss account. So this is your first step. Second step is that you will bring all the liabilities together except this profit and loss account or any other reserve, fund, then partners capital as well as partners loan. Except these items, you will bring all the liabilities together. So that is the second step. Next, third step is that you will sell the assets. So that item or that transaction will be there in your adjustment. That is, they will give it as assets realized. So you will take all the items which has been realized. That is the third step, that is selling of assets. Next is fourth step is for payment of liabilities. So if any of the liability have paid, so they will, or here it will be recorded as to bank account, that is liabilities paid. Next, you will record if any assets have been taken over by the partner. For example, A have taken over the asset, then by A's capital account. So like that you will record. That is, if any assets have taken over. Suppose if any liabilities have taken over, then to A's capital account. Suppose A have taken over the liability, then you will record it as to A's capital account. Next, you will record the dissolution expenses. You will balance both the side, and the balancing figure will be realization profit or realization loss, and that will be transferred to partners capital account. That is, all partners capital account in their profit sharing ratio. So this is about realization account. Whereas revaluation account is prepared during admission and retirement, whereas realization account is prepared during dissolution of partnership firm. Next account to be prepared is partners capital account, same as your admission and retirement. So here the only thing is that you will record the items and you will see in realization account whether any of the amount which has been transferred to partners capital account or not. So that will be taken in partners capital account. Next is loan account. So if any partner have provided loan, in such cases we have to provide this, or we have to maintain this partner's loan account. So we will bring down the balance. Next, you have to record it as to bank account, that is payment of that loan. Next, bank account. So as I've already told you, we are not going to prepare the balance sheet because the business is coming to an end. So once you are familiar with the realization account, partners capital account as well as partners loan account, bank account is very easy. The thing is that the first you have to bring the bank account balance. Rest all the entries will be the transfer entry of your realization account, partners capital account as well as partners loan account. So these are the 4 important 15 marks question. So one question will be from this branch account, and next from admission of a partner, next from installment or hire purchase system, and the next problem will be from dissolution of partnership firm. Now moving on to the 10 marks question. So you will get a 10 marks question on joint venture. So we had already gone through the problem of joint venture. So the problem will be like this. That is for 10 marks, where you have to prepare joint venture account, joint bank account as well as venturers account. So these are the account that has to be prepared under joint venture. Now this is a problem on 10 marks question where they will ask us to prepare ledger accounts on hire purchase system. As I've already told you, if you know the journal entries under hire purchase system, it is very easy to record the ledger account or maintain the ledger account of both hire purchase as well as installment system. Now this is a problem on hire purchase system where we have to prepare the ledger accounts, and it is same as your installment system. Now if you go through this, the calculation, everything will be same. Next, you will prepare the ledger accounts. As I've already told you, if you're clear with the journal entries, so it is very easy to prepare the ledger account, and this type of problem we had already solved. Now this is a 10 marks question. For 10 marks, they will not ask the journal entry. For 10 marks, you will get an account, that is ledger accounts. So this is a ledger account. Next 10 marks question is, what do you mean by hire purchase system? Distinguish between hire purchase system and installment system. So this is a difference here. So we know about hire purchase system. So they will ask the difference between hire purchase system and installment system. Now if you go through the difference here, it is an agreement of hiring. So hire purchase system is an agreement of hiring, whereas installment system is an agreement of sale. Whereas hire purchase system is governed by Act of 1972, that is Hire Purchase Act of 1972, whereas installment system is not governed by any of the act. The parties under hire purchase system are hire vendor, that is hire seller as well as hire purchaser, whereas here the parties are buyer and seller. And the next difference is that ownership of the goods will be transferred only after the payment of last installment, whereas under installment system it will be immediately transferred. Now, under hire purchase system, the hire purchaser has a right to take back the, not hire purchaser, hire seller has a right to take back the asset. Right? So, if any default, so if any of the installment is not paid by the hire purchaser, in that situation, hire seller has a right to take back the asset. Whereas here, they cannot take back the asset, but they can sue in the court of law. And the relationship under hire purchase system is that of bailer and bailee, whereas here under installment system there is no such relationship. Next, here they can terminate the contract, but under installment system they don't have any, or they cannot terminate the contract. So this is a 5 or 10 marks question where they will ask a difference between hire purchase system as well as installment system. Now, next 10 mark question is list out the difference between fixed capital system and fluctuating capital system. So, we have already gone through, the word itself says that fixed capital, in the sense the capital of the partner remains fixed year after year, whereas in fluctuating it keeps on fluctuating. So, if you see the number of accounts under fixed capital account, we will prepare two types, that is capital account as well as current account, whereas under fluctuating capital system we will prepare only one account, that is capital account. Next, if you see the adjustment here, so adjustments like drawings, salary, so all things will be recorded in current account, whereas under fluctuating capital system all adjustment will be recorded in partner's capital account itself. Next, if you see the third difference, the capital account balance usually remains unchanged, so it will be always fixed. But under fluctuating capital system, the word itself says that it keeps on fluctuating. So this was a 10 marks question where we have to write the difference between fixed capital account and fluctuating capital account. Now, here, go through a problem here. So, Akash, Anil and Adarsh. So, this is a partners, or this is a problem relating to death of a partner where they have asked us to prepare partner's capital account, that is deceased partner's capital account. So, this type of question can also be asked for 10 marks. So, this is the solution for this. We had already solved such type of problem in a previous session. That is, they will ask. So, there may be a chances that they will ask 10 marks question for this preparation of partner's capital account, that is deceased partner's capital account. So, who is a deceased partner? The person who have died. So, his partner's capital account or deceased partner executor's account. Now, who is the executor? The legal heir of a deceased partner or the person who have died is called as what? Executor. So, they might ask to prepare this deceased partner's capital account or deceased partner's executor's account. A simple problem for 10 marks. Next, a problem on retirement of a partner. Same as your admission, but in revaluation account there is slight changes. You will transfer this revaluation profit or loss will be transferred to all the partners here. Whereas in admission, it will be transferred only to the old partners, but in retirement, we will transfer to all the partners including retiring partner also. Next, in partner's capital account, so here also everything will be same except this partner's loan. And here, if there is any reserve or if there is any profit and loss or any other fund, it will be distributed among all the partners. Whereas in admission, it will be distributed only to the old partners, right? And here the balancing figure of deceased or the person who retires. So, it will be transferred to his loan account and remaining partners' capital will be carried down. Whereas in admission, all partners' capital or the balancing figure of partners' capital account will be carried down. Whereas here, the balancing figure will be transferred to his loan account. Next, we will prepare the balance sheet same as your admission. You will take all the assets. If there is any fluctuation or the adjustment, we will make that adjustment. But we have to take here, that is retiring partner's loan. We are not going to take it as capital, but we will take it as loan. And your total side of liability should be equal to total side of assets. So, this is a 10-mark problem on retirement of a partner. Next, you will have a question on this joint venture. So, this is a problem on joint venture where you have to prepare joint venture account and venturer's account as well as joint bank account. So we had already solved many problems on this chapter. So we have to prepare 3 accounts, that is joint venture account, venturer's account as well as bank account. So this is a 10 marks important problem. So you can expect a 10 mark important problem on this unit. Next, 5 marks. We shall come to 5 marks. So we have already discussed about part A. So part A is for 15 marks where you have to write 2 questions. Next, part B. So this is for 10 marks where you have to write the 3 questions. Now we shall come to part C, that is for 5 marks. So easy questions, and most of the time this 5 marks question will be a theory question. Now go through the question here. What are the objective of branch accounting? A simple question for 5 marks. So you can go on writing the objectives of branch accounting. So why we have to prepare the branch account? That is in order to know the profit or loss of each branch separately. And the next one is to know the financial position of each branch. Next, to know the cash and goods required by each of the branch. Next, to evaluate the progress and performance, how each and every branch is performing. So, in order to know that, we'll prepare the branch account. Next, in order to know the profitability, or whether we have to close that branch or whether we have to expand that branch. So, this is a simple question for 5 marks. Next, one more 5 marks question. What is joint venture? State the difference between joint venture and partnership firm. So you know about joint venture, right? So here 2 or more persons come together for a particular period of time. So once that venture is finished, for example, if they come together for the construction of dam. So once the construction of dam is over, they get aparted. So it is also called as what? Temporary partnership without the firm name. So that is the meaning of joint venture. Next, you can go on writing the difference between joint venture. So if you see the difference between joint venture is that the joint venture is formed to achieve a specific goal or objective. Of course, we know the joint venture is mainly formed in order to achieve a specific goal or objective, whereas partnership does not have a specific objective. So their main aim is in order to earn profit, but they do not have a specific objective like this joint venture. The person who undertakes the joint venture are called as co-venturers, and you know about partnership firm, they are called as partners. That is, the parties under partnership firm are called as partners. Then here joint venture will not have a firm name. No necessity to have a firm name. Of course, the partnership should have a firm name. Next, joint venture are not governed by a separate act, whereas partnership is governed by Partnership Act of 1932. So this all we know. Next, profit and loss is ascertained only the venture is completed. So profit and loss will be ascertained, or it will be calculated only when the venture is completed, whereas it is calculated annually in partnership firm. Joint venture transactions are recorded on liquidation basis, where here it is recorded on going concern basis. So this is a difference between joint venture and partnership firm for 5 marks. And the next question is on features of installment system. So if you know the meaning of installment system, you can go on writing the features of installment system. So you have to write any 5 features of installment system for 5 marks. And the next question is, state the circumstances under which the partnership firm is dissolved. So you can give any of the 5 reasons where the partnership firm is closed. So it may be in the form of mutual agreement, or by compulsory dissolution, or by unhappening of an event, or by the notice, or by order of the court. So you can write any of the 5 items. That is for 5 marks. Next, explain the difference between dissolution of partnership and dissolution of partnership firm. Of course, there is difference between dissolution of partnership and dissolution of partnership firm. For 5 marks, you can write any of the simple 5 difference between these 2 concepts. That is dissolution of partnership and dissolution of partnership firm. Next question is difference between revaluation account and realization account. Here also for 5 marks you can write any of the 5 difference here. So you can write any of the 5 difference between revaluation account and realization account, but make sure that these two accounts are totally different. Revaluation account is prepared during admission, retirement and death of a partner, whereas realization account is prepared during dissolution of partnership firm. If you know that much, you can go on writing the difference. Next, write a note on executor's account. So, on the death of a partner, the amount that has to be paid to the deceased partner, the partner who have died. So, that amount will be transferred to his executor account. So, who is an executor? He is a legal heir of a deceased partner. It's called as an executor. So, you can write a note here. So, whatever the settlement that has to be given to the deceased partner, the partner who have died will be transferred to his executor. So, for 5 marks, you can write any of the 5 sentences on this executor. Next, write a meaning on sacrifice ratio. So, we had already discussed about it. So, when this sacrifice ratio is calculated during admission of a partner, and write the formula. Now, why it is calculated? In order to distribute the goodwill which is bought by the new partner among the old partner for the share sacrificed by them. So, this is a 5 marks question where they will ask write a note on sacrifice ratio. Next, write a note on partnership deed. So, we had already discussed about it. So, 5 marks you can write the meaning or you can write any of the 5 contents about the partnership deed. So, partnership deed is nothing but it is an agreement which contains all the terms and conditions of the partnership firm is called as partnership deed, and you need not write all the contents. You can write any of the 5 contents of partnership deed for 5 marks. My dear students, hope you have gone through this model question paper. So, it's a very easy subject, that is financial accounting 2. See you all in my next session. Till then, take care. Thank you.